Hey everyone, it's Katrina from the Good Love Project, and today is day 8 of my 30 days of medibation. So, if you're joining me for the first time, or if you don't remember, medibation is meditation plus masturbation. It's a solo tantric and sacred sexuality practice, and I am going into a meditation session once a day for the entirety of November, and then sharing my observances and my experiences here on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So, I just finished the first week, and yesterday, and at that point, I was kind of just sort of playing things by ear, like, oh, what's my focus going to be today? It was just whatever happened to come up for me, whatever I needed. This week, I'm going to have a little more structure. And so I'm working through, so for this second week in my 30 Days of Medibation series, I will be working through the chakras. So for this first one, I'm going to try not to go too long. I've been keeping these videos around 10 to 12 minutes. I got a lot of info I want to share on this one. You may notice I'm not quite quite feeling as high looking as some of my other videos. That's partly because I actually did my session early this morning. And then I was going all day, so I'm not getting to video until tonight. So this is the first time. Usually I video immediately after my session, and today there's a separation. So tomorrow I'll probably be back on that. Anyway, I do have a lot of information I want to fit into this first video, just in case there are folks joining that maybe haven't heard of chakras or the chakra system, or they've heard of it but only know a little bit about it. So, hi Marissa, hi Tim. Please say hi if you're tuning in, and feel free to ask questions while I'm going. It's exciting to see all of you. So let's get into it. I'm gonna try to keep this, like I said, short and focused, so I don't go over too long, and try to fit in as much as I can without, yakking your ear off all night, because I gotta go to bed too. So let's start with what are the chakras. So chakra it's a Sanskrit word. It means wheel. If you remember, like in Xena Warrior Princess, her circular weapon was called a chakram, which actually the Hindu god Vishnu also used. So chakra means wheel, and they are vortices of energy throughout the subtle body. So if you think of the subtle body as something on a more energetic, psychic level that parallels your physical body, and so is, there but unseen. That's kind of the idea of the subtle body. And so then the chakras are these spinning vortices of like focused energy. And there's lots of them throughout the body. Depending on which system you're looking into, you'll find different numbers. But generally though, when people refer to the chakras, they're meaning specifically 7 that run up the center of the body, up your trunk and through the head. So they run up and they're connected by channels known as called nadis. So that's N-A-D-I, not like naughty, but nadis. It's believed that when they're healthy and functioning properly, the chakras are properly aligned and are spinning beautifully fast and are really bright and shiny. Stagnant or negative energy can cause them to become blocked or inert, which can then lead to a variety of discomforts or illnesses or emotional issues. And working with the chakra system is a major part of most tantric practices, and and yoga, particularly like Kundalini yoga. A note for you non-woo folk, for those of you that just like, you're not into energy, and all this talking about like energy and vortices and subtle bodies. If you're not super into it, it's totally okay. You can still engage in all of these practices from a place of mindfulness. So in the same way that we can talk about mythology, and tell stories of gods and goddesses and great deeds by heroes, and we can look at it as like this very real, literal, magical thing that happened, and go, wow, I'm gonna, light candles on my altar around this deity. We can also look at it allegorically. What is the lesson in this story? What does it represent? How can I apply those representations to my life? And so that's the same for any of this energetic work as well. So if you're a skeptic, if you're a pragmatist, if you're just not into the woo, that's totally okay. It doesn't really matter whether it's real or not. It's what can it mean for you. So, and as I do each video talking about each of the chakras, I'll talk a little bit about, what they represent and how you can kind of bring that into your practice. So, back to the chakra system and how it works. So, within this whole system, there are three main channels, three main nadis: the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. And I'll kind of go more into those later, but I want to focus mostly on the Sushumna. So imagine the three of them like this, like a central staff with two serpents twining up the staff. You've probably seen that symbol on like the side of an ambulance or something, the caduceus. So that is the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. The Sushumna is the center channel, and it is here that we find the main 7 chakras. Each chakra is connected with an area of the body, an element, a seed sound called a bija, a note on the musical scale, and a color, and several other things too. Like you can go really deep into all the different things that they're connected with. So that's just the quick, like, hard and fast chakras 101 to get everyone up to speed. So today, for the first day with this practice, of course, I started with the first chakra, which is Muladhara, or the root chakra. So its location is usually listed as at the base of the spine or in the pelvic floor, like in the perineum. The perineum, of course, is the space between your genitals and your anus. So that space, that's like, the center of your pelvic floor and truly the floor of your body, is generally where Muladhara is said to reside. Muladhara is connected to feelings of security, stability, and groundedness, and its element is earth. Its color is red, and its seed sound is lam. So if you were looking for like a mantra sound to work with it, lam would be a good one for you. Since that's its bija, seed sound. It is at Muladhara that the 3 nadis, the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna, where they split and move up the body. And it is said that it is here that your Kundalini energy resides, as if you imagine a serpent of fire coiled upon itself, which is another symbol that we've seen in a lot of other traditions. The Ouroboros, this symbol of infinity and eternal life, of a snake entwining on itself or eating itself. But it is said to reside there at the Muladhara chakra. So it is the first chakra that we work with, and one that a lot of people do have issues with, because it's an it's an insecure world, frankly. And so working with your root chakra so that you can feel strong and stable is important, especially as you go into a sacred sex practice. Finding that strength and that stability within yourself and having that personal solidarity is so important before going and practicing with others. So for my practice today, so of course I do want to share what my practice was, and then I'll wrap this up for the evening. So my practice today to focus on the Muladhara chakra. I actually started my session by giving myself a yoni massage, a healing vulva massage. So I was massaging my labia, my perineum, and just really focusing not so much on pleasure right away, but really giving an actual massage the same way that I would massage, say, my shoulders, something else, focusing on releasing any tension that I was carrying in my pelvic floor. Then as my body kind of started to release and relax into those sensations, I then shifted my touch from therapeutic to erotic, starting to then focus more around my clitoris. I still haven't actually done any penetrative work with myself up to this point. All of my medibation practice thus far has been completely external. So just kind of want to lay that out there as well. Sometimes we vulva owners, we can get a little hung up on like what kind of orgasm is the best kind of orgasm to have, whether it's clitoral versus vaginal, or if it's G-spot, or if it's cervix, or da-da-da-da. All orgasms are created equal in my book. Do what feels good for you. Since I am going through this 30-day practice, I'm kind of trying to pace myself, so I've been slowly getting more intense with each practice. So eventually I'll get to a penetrative practice, but right now I'm still focusing on just external sensation. So and so, I was doing my external sensation and going into my breathing, my microcosmic orbits, until I started to really feel that root chakra energy really starting to open up. Mentally, I started focusing on the color red, so I closed my eyes and had the color red in my mind. And then I really wanted to feel grounded, and since Muladhara is connected with the earth element, I visualized and kind of physically imagined the feeling of my feet rooting and sinking into the earth. And then being able to take that energy that I had woken around my pelvic floor and around my clitoris, and then focusing it down my legs all the way through to my feet, taking a few moments to kind of hold some healing space around my leg injury. Some of you may know I tore a hamstring a couple of weeks ago, so I was kind of sending it some love. And just letting all of that move through the lower part of my body and really feeling a lot of warmth and heat build there. So I ended my session feeling really grounded and really confident, which was great because I had a photo shoot not long after that. So it was great to be able to walk in having that feeling of confidence and stability. So that was my session for today. The next 6 days I'll be going through the rest of the system, the rest of the chakras, and we'll see where this goes. So this next week will be some sharing and also a lot of geeking out. So I hope that you'll enjoy geeking out with me this week. And thanks so much for joining me. Always, thanks so much for joining me on this journey. And go ahead and check out my page, The Good Love Project, if you haven't checked it out yet. If you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe. I've got a lot more stuff coming up outside of this as well, because as I go through all of these practices, different questions are coming in, and it's just giving me a lot of material and a lot of clarity on things to share and things to talk about. So, okay, have a beautiful evening, and as always, keep on good loving.